Here is Jared Fogle. You may have seen him on the news.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're looking at times where beloved celebrities and figures ended up becoming the bad guy.
I think it's very clear what's true.
OJ Simpson. In American football, few running backs are as talented as Simpson was in his prime. During the 70s, he played for the Buffalo Bills and became massively famous. Simpson retired in 1979, then pursued a career in acting.
Yeah, Doc says I should be on my beat and as good as new in a week.
And back on the force.
Thornburg, that's wonderful. Whoa!
1994 saw his fall from grace after the murder of his ex-wife Nicole Brown and her friend Ron Goldman. Simpson became the prime suspect, which resulted in a publicized chase when he tried to flee.
There was nothing ever in the past that would indicate OJ would be capable of doing what he is doing right now.
While he was ultimately found not guilty, his reputation took a major hit.
His viewpoint, I'm back and I'm going to be playing golf every day and I'm going to be OJ and everything's fine. And I think he felt he could con the rest of the world into believing that.
In 2007, he was arrested again in Las Vegas, charged with armed robbery and kidnapping, resulting in him serving 9 years behind bars. Bill Gates. Microsoft was founded by Gates and his friend Paul Allen in 1975. Now, barely any companies are more well known.
What are your annual revenues at Microsoft?
We're expecting to do just over $100 million this year.
Gates' work on computers was revolutionary, making him a billionaire by age 31. Unfortunately, he's not as loved as he used to be. One major reason is that he has ties to the infamous criminal Jeffrey Epstein.
Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off.
He's also the founder of the Gates Foundation, which is the third wealthiest charity on earth. While its intentions are admirable, it's been heavily criticized, with many claiming it makes poverty worse rather than its stated goal of helping.
Among the many criticisms, the idea that private finance can solve the problems of the developing world. Should poor farmers be trapped into debt by having to use chemicals or fertilizers underwritten by offshoots of the foundation?
Henry Heimlich. Most of us should be aware of the Heimlich maneuver, used to stop someone from choking. As you could guess, it's named after Henry Heimlich, who first publicized his idea in 1974.
So the simple solution was, how do you always drive the object away from the lung and toward the mouth? And as a chest surgeon, I knew if you pushed up on the diaphragm and compressed the lungs, it would act like a bellows and blow the object out.
It was an amazing development, which has since saved countless lives. Well, after creating it, Heimlich went pretty far off the deep end. Heimlich suggested his maneuver should be used in a lot of ways that the Red Cross disagreed with. Also, he became controversially involved with malaria therapy. This is when you inject people with malaria and hope it cures their other ailments. Unsurprisingly, Heimlich wasn't allowed to test this theory in America and had to do it in Ethiopia. It turned out to have the opposite effect, increasing the spread of diseases.
Here in the Dembia district of Ethiopia, malaria is endemic.
Rudy Giuliani. From 1994 until 2001, Giuliani was the mayor of New York City. If after 2001 he'd left the public eye, he'd still be widely adored.
He's the mayor of New York City, Rudy Giuliani.
Giuliani ended up doing the opposite, which ruined his reputation. As mayor, he cracked down on mobs and criminals while being relatively socially liberal.
I'm the Republican mayor, but I'm really not. I'm the mayor of New York City.
Now he's regarded as not much more than one of Trump's lackeys. In 2018, he joined Trump's legal team. Many believe he was highly corrupt in this role and was a major figure in numerous scandals.
They're not going to steal this election. This election gets decided by the people.
He was indicted multiple times and later disbarred from practicing law in both New York and D.C. Richard Nixon. In 1969, Nixon was elected President of the United States after a major victory.
I, Richard Billhouse Nixon, do solemnly swear.
One of his main promises was to honorably end the Vietnam War. Another was that of détente, which resulted in improved relations between America, China, and the Soviet Union. After a popular first term, Nixon was re-elected again in 1972, winning 60.7% of the votes. Nixon would eventually resign in 1974 after the Watergate scandal ruined his reputation.
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
This was because in 1972, burglars were found in the Democratic National Committee headquarters.
You found the door taped once, and you took the tape off. And then you found it taped a second time.
It was something that told me that you should check, not only check the door, but that you call the police.
Investigations found Nixon was responsible, and he resigned just before being impeached.
Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
Mao Zedong. If the founder of the People's Republic of China had died in 1949, he'd be widely considered a hero.
Mao Zedong, once a lowly party worker, now assumed the stature of the dominant figure in all of Eastern Asia.
This is because Mao fought heroically during the Civil War and the Second Sino-Japanese War. After taking over China, Mao encouraged land reforms, which often resulted in bloodshed targeted against property owners.
I was totally pour my energy, even my life, into it to support whatever Mao asked me to do.
In 1958, Mao began the Great Leap Forward, which resulted in the largest man-made famine in human history. His party began to dislike him, so Mao responded with the Cultural Revolution, which lasted from 1966 until his death in 1976.
在文革中间，有一首歌叫做《爹亲娘亲不如毛主席亲》。
The Cultural Revolution was extremely violent, and the number of fatalities caused by Mao's rule is a figure we'll never truly know, but it's definitely horrifically high.
Now is the Rega generation, 70. I hope that they reflect, they regret, they re-examine. What should we prevent this kind of human tragedy happen again?
Kevin Spacey. For over 2 decades, Spacey was one of the most celebrated actors in Hollywood.
You think you can catch Kaiser Soze? You think a guy like that comes this close to getting caught and sticks his head out?
He's won 2 Academy Awards and was given an honorary KBE by the Queen of England in 2015. In 2017, his career took a turn for the worse. Multiple actors accused Spacey of sexually assaulting them, which ended his career temporarily.
I hope that everyone who's dealing with these sorts of situations does feel the courage to come forward.
In response, Spacey decided to come out as a gay man. This came across as ignorant of the real issue and only increased controversy. Spacey denied the allegations and was eventually found not guilty in 2 separate cases. That didn't save him. He's a widely disliked actor who struggles to find work, but not as much as he used to.
But I very, very, very much am so grateful that I am alive and I got through this, and I'm coming out the other side of it.
Jared Fogle. In 1998, Fogle began a diet that helped him lose 245 pounds in a year. During this period, he frequented Subway.
Hey, Jared.
Hey, guys.
This led to him being hired by the chain to promote their products. For 15 years, he was the face of Subway all over the globe, earning him the nickname the Subway Guy.
There's always excuses, you know, you can always have a million excuses out there, but you just gotta finally put up and just do it.
This all came to a crashing halt when it was publicly revealed that he was a child abuser. Allegations first began in 2007, but the FBI finally caught him in 2015. Fogle was sentenced to 15 years and 8 months in prison that same year.
He expects to get well. He expects to continue to make amends to those people whose lives he has affected, both family and non-family members. And he at some point hopes to become, once again, a productive member of society.
Bill Cosby. By the end of the 20th century, Cosby was widely revered as America's dad.
Come in. Oh, cut that out.
He was an adored stand-up comedian, most famous for playing Cliff Huxtable on The Cosby Show. From 2014 onwards, public opinion of him soured severely. This was due to numerous allegations from women that he had assaulted them.
Next thing I know, I'm in the bathroom, and I am throwing up.
They began surfacing in 2004, but in 2014, Hannibal Buress joked about these allegations in a comedy routine. This triggered a domino effect of people becoming increasingly aware of his dark side.
The stories just keep coming.
Eventually, Cosby was convicted in 2018 and stayed in prison until 2021. Now he steers clear of the public eye, as he's one of America's most hated celebrities.
Every woman who
again, got dragged to filth for speaking the truth after saying nothing for decades.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into Settings and switch on your notifications. JK Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, used to be idolized almost unanimously.
How does it feel to have really motivated an entire generation to read?
Nothing better. Nothing better.
No.
Once she famously fell off the Forbes billionaires list for how much money she donated to charity. Now, she's more known for spreading hate than anything else.
The woman who is likely the world's best-known children's author is defending herself against growing accusations of transphobia.
Transgender individuals are the primary target of her hate, despite them reportedly being not even 1% of the UK's population.
Trans people are a population of people who have a right to equality and to freedom from discrimination. We are not an ideology that's up for debate. But that's how JK Rowling frames the trans question. Not as a struggle for equality that she opposes, but as an ideology that she disagrees with.
Many Harry Potter actors like Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe have fallen out with her because of it. Rowling's anti-trans beliefs are seriously harmful, even for people who aren't trans. For example, in 2024, she caused a ruckus over Algerian Olympic champion Amane Khalif, whom Rowling considered trans. This was an entirely made-up fact, which seriously hurt Khalif.
وليش قضية رياضية أو لعبة ولا تجاوزت الحدود وين أصبحت؟
Were there any figures we failed to include that you think deserve a mention? Let us know in the comments below.